Thank you for listening to Sofa Juice. And on this episode, we'll be talking about one of the unsung heroes of the industry. A legend, no doubt, about it. He's often mentioned in the same conversations as the Mr. Marcuses, the Jake Steeds, the Shawn Michaels, Devlin Weed. Many of you all know. Yeah, he's definitely, an icon in the industry. He managed to supersede the efforts of many of his counterparts who also started in the 90s by way of having more career longevity and staying power, no pun intended. So let's do a deep dive. Devlin Weed is a Compton native, born and raised in California, and is also a longtime friend of Eazy-E's. And we all know who Eazy-E is from the legendary rap group NWA, also known as the godfather of gangster rap.
Well, for Eazy-E, nigga, it be no Devlin Weed, nigga. I grew up with Eazy-E way before the music days, right? Eric.
As far as the relationship with Devlin and Eazy-E, their relationship goes way back to the days before Eazy-E even got into the music industry. Just to give you some context on how long they've known each other. His path into the industry actually started when he made a homemade movie with Eazy-E's Made, and eventually it got into the hands of Eazy-E's bodyguard, who was connected to the corn legend Ron Hightower. Ron Hightower, to my knowledge, he was impressed, highly impressed, and he reached out to Devlin, and as a result, Devlin Weed got into his first official scene in 1994. I believe the movie came out on a company called Gourmet Video, and the movie is called Black Ops 23. For those unfamiliar with Ron Hightower, he started off as an actor in the early 90s and eventually segued into becoming a director of horror movies. Eventually, he even segued into non-related projects and music videos. One of his most prominent works is How Do You Want It by the late great Robert Tupac Shakur. Another person that played a role in Devlin Weed's transition into the industry was a guy by the name of Big Man. And Big Man was also a longtime friend of Devlin's, and he was also a longtime friend of Eazy-E, and he was even Eazy-E's bodyguard at one point. If you ever watched any movies by a company called Fat Dog Productions, usually there's this big guy that comes out. He does a little talking before the scene. He's like chopped it up, just shooting and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just talking shit and all that. Just having fun, And for y'all not familiar with Fat Dog Productions, you may want to check out a series called 24/7 and another series called Junk in the Trunk. Yeah, Fat Dog was around. They did their numbers. They were a little more underground, in my opinion. They weren't as popular as some of the bigger brands, but Devlin, he was in a lot of those movies as well under Fat Dog. Unfortunately, Big Man passed away on April 22nd, 2016, due to health complications. But his legacy lives on, because he definitely played a big role, behind the scenes and making things happen and all that fly shit. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely. With that being said, can't leave out DJ Yella from NWA as well. At one point, he actually had a production company as well, where he worked really close with Big Man and Devlin Weed. And I believe his first movie came out on Sunshine Films, which was a company that was ran by another legend by the name of Chuck Martino, but you may know him as Fillmore Buzz. You know, he had a popular series back in the 90s. Pretty funny sense of humor, you know what I'm saying? You know, he had this guy that used to follow him around, a camera guy named The Freak, and I always found that to be pretty funny and entertaining. But as far as Devlin Weed is concerned, yes, you had DJ Yella, Big Man, and Devlin Weed. They were all kind of in that same circle. And eventually, Devlin he made his way to Dark Side Entertainment. And I don't know if you're familiar with Dark Side Entertainment. They have a couple classics under their belt too, like the Head Clinic series and Sugar series and the Wad Squad. And those are some I can think of off the head. But they put out some good movies. But this right here actually played a significant role in Devlin Weed's career because when he got to Dark Side, that's where he directed a film called Tales from the Dark Side, which came out in about 2006. And not only was this showcasing his directorial talent, but it also won him an AVN award in 2007, I believe. And then eventually he was inducted into the AVN Hall of Fame in 2018. So, you know, in terms of accomplishments, you know, he was making a lot of noise. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of noise. Another of the things that stood out to me about Devlin Weed's, like his style on the camera, like his aesthetic, is like a fusion between it was gangster but yet gothic at times. You know, if you look at him with the, you know, just the apparel, the chains, the you know, the tattoos, just the energy. It was somewhere in between, and it was pretty dope. It was different. It was I'd never seen anything like that. In terms of like the performance goes and his scenes, it was usually aggressive. You know he comes off as rough, but yeah, he's comedic at times too. And I thought that was pretty funny because there's not a lot of comedic people in the industry like that. You know, so when you find somebody that shows that side of them, it's hilarious. For example, he in some of his scenes he would usually end with an accidental pop shot where he follows up by saying "my bad," you know, and my bad, and it raises the question: was it done accidentally or was it done intentionally? But nonetheless, the "my bad" is funny as hell. That's just hilarious. Yeah, it's crazy. But one of my favorite scenes that he did was a threesome with him, Charlotte Hayes, and Sophia Costello, and it's from a movie called Straight Outta Compton Part One, and it came out in 2006 on Dark Side. And he also has some really good scenes with Sky Black. I don't know if y'all familiar with Sky. Well, you probably know what Sky Black is. That's a legend at this point. And Deja Milan, who I thought was pretty dope. You know, they did some scenes together too. They had some good work together. As far as the newbies that he worked with, like first timers that he, you know, just got busy with on the screen. One of them that stood out to me was an actress by the name of Fetish Fatale, and the scene was Black and Nasty 4 by West Coast Productions. And Fetish Fatale, she really wasn't too popular, but I mean she was around, but she was overshadowed, by other actresses at the time. Or you can just look her up, and she was pretty decent. Another thing too about Devlin Weed is that his catalog is pretty diverse. It has a wide range in terms of the genres that he worked in. So he had a lot of flexibility and versatility in that angle. For example, not only does he have MILF films under his belt, and he has IR content, but he also did some BBW films as well, such as I Like Fat Girl 7 by Devil's Films, and the Fat Actress series by Dark Side Entertainment. His most recent appearance was about a year ago, September 2023, in a scene called To Protect and Fuck, and it featured an actress by the name of Rebel Ryder, and it came out on the Zero Tolerance website. The scene was actually directed by Jim Powers, who was also a longtime friend of Devlin's. And for those that aren't familiar with Jim Powers, he's known as the father of the bukkake genre in American corn. And if you don't know what bukkake is, do some research, and you can get caught up to speed. And while working for Dark Side, Devlin eventually became a video editor and production manager of the company, and that actually led him to doing other professional editing as well for companies such as Elegant Angel, Naughty Sinners, and a few others as well. And so I think that was a really smart decision. That was brilliant to do that, because the shelf life of somebody behind the camera is way longer than somebody in front of the camera. So by him going behind the scenes, that was smart. To my knowledge, Dark Side Entertainment is still in business. I know they do have a website, and I don't know if they have any recent content, any new releases at this point, because I did see a lot of the older material being sold and things like that. But since they're still in business, it raises the question: will we see a comeback with Devlin Weed? That'll be pretty dope, because during that era, it's like, he came in at the era where it's like the superhero era, the golden era, you know what I'm saying? And the industry is not the same the way it is now. Like, this OnlyFans era is just, it ain't it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not it. And I think the older era, you had more icons, the people worked harder, and it was just more of a sense of exclusivity about it. And, people actually had to work hard to get in the industry, so they had to take planes, take flights to, to trade shows and to conventions, and, put their demos out there. It was just a different situation. But speaking of comebacks, I seen a recent tweet with Lexington Still hanging out with Brian Pumper. I don't know what that's about, but that raises a lot of questions too. So maybe we'll see a resurgence of the icons. But getting back to Devlin Weed, yeah, he's definitely a legend. On that note, it's your boy, often imitated, never duplicated, Dion the Giant. That's all I got for this topic. Until the next episode, see you next time. Thank you for listening to Soulful Juice. Have a good one. Oh yeah, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's keep it going.